So now, today is the last day with everything that is still clear. I will teach you directly, and later on, after 1 hour, you and me will meditate to practice to travel out to space. So as we try to practice to travel out to space, then that will be the end of the class. But with the remaining hours, I will spend to clarify for you. Supposedly on this I do not teach, but now I decide to teach you. So as you go home, you can try. If you love yourself, your body, and to love other people, first you need to love your body first. With health, you have the energy without the contamination in every situation. Then you will have the chance to contribute to help your country and the communities in the world if you have the chance, and if in the world they request us. For that reason, for the past few days, as I guided you, just as the formula that you practice, to travel to space through the means of the warm water. However, for the Asian, it is easy to buy rice. But for a number of you in Europe, a number of you in South America, it is difficult to buy rice. So a number of you, were asking about what type of rice to buy because it is so difficult. So any type of rice that you can buy, through my experience in Vietnam or in Thailand, they have some of the good rice. It could be expensive, especially for those who do not have the means. They can buy the cheaper rice. But if you know how to practice, over here they have one of the fragrant rice from Vietnam or Thailand. And if you cook and you leave the rice for 2 days, it is not stale. And as we practice, also that fragrance also help through your skin. That is technique to practice. And the effect, I explained for you, the effect of it is in the nervous system inside the body. Our body receives the most through the skin, as it can help the whole body to change the cell. Additionally, in the day, as you are eating the food with a lot of the substance, more or less, this excessive substance or toxin inside the stomach. So for that reason, since you do not have the immune system, then you may be sick. Even though if you have the means to try to practice, to merge as the deities help you, so you can transfer energy here or there, individually or collectively, this is an effective way that I and Teresa, we practice for 7 times, and we achieve the goal, meaning that health. There are so many toxins inside the body that we did not have a chance to get rid of them. So on the first day, when you practice, perhaps on the first time when you practice, when you were able to meditate, to transform the body into energy to travel out to space, all the toxin will be eliminated totally. You may feel very relaxed, very comfortable with your body, just like when you just return back from outer space. In fact, that's what you did. But when you return back to the original state of your body through your practice, through the formula that I have taught you, then you will feel very relaxed and happy, since you are able to get rid of all the toxin inside your body. Gradually like that, if at least a day you try your best, at least once a day. However, this is not mandatory, but this is a way that you can protect your body to change the environment. In the case of the skin cell, that may affect the whole body, so you can help all the skin cell to regain its order, to help to get rid of the sickness. Additionally, you have the immune strength. We do not know that many countries that eventually, for any reason, that food nutrients, all of the nutrients are contaminated, and with this water, perhaps it can nurture us, and we do not feel hungry, and we can retain our health. That doesn't mean that we're submerged into to practice and you are not eating, but you still eat. But your strength and your immune system would be strengthened during the time when food and water are all contaminated. So I have prepared for you. That is the reason I want to share with you. However, if you don't have the time and the means in 5 days, 7 days, or if you don't have the means, if you don't practice, there's no problem. But I want you to have your health. Importantly, that is to change your appearance, your physical appearance, through the means that you practice in this warm water. As you mix with the ingredients, very simple, but it is effective to help you each time when you practice. That is the case I want to remind you in general. The formula I have sent to you, and I want to emphasize this point. So you just try it a few times, then you know the effect. Only one time, not even the second or third time you feel the effect. However, try if you have the chance, because you always eat food and nutrients. So how do you know, intentionally or unintentionally, if you eat something with toxin that may cause problem in the stomach or in your body? If unfortunately on that day you are weak with your immune system, so that's why I advise for you, try your best. If you have the means, try to practice at least one time in the evening. It doesn't mean that we're meditating in peace, but at night it is very tranquil for you. When you go back home, you can make the water, or let's say 11 o'clock p.m. you go to sleep. From 9 to 10:30 you cook, and then you mix, and then you submerge to practice to travel out to space. And then in that 10 minutes or half an hour, and then afterwards you can go to sleep. I advise for you one more time. This is a reminder for you. When you sit in the warm water to practice, when you walk out, do not take a shower again, because as you submerge with that water, sometime with your eyes, let's say if you want to wash your hair, you use that water to wash your hair, but you have to close your eyes and you wash your eyes. Otherwise, your eyes is so sensitive that water as a rice water, and with the salt and sugar, sometimes it might cause some allergic reaction to your eyes. Just in your eyes, you close your eye when you pour on your head. I have tried for 2 days consecutively. As I wash my hand, I just wash my hair with that water without using shampoo, and the hair is clean. The important part is that you can benefit from it. As you know, sometimes after you use your shampoo today and tomorrow, and the hair is dirty and you feel itchy, but with this, the hair doesn't have any problem, and the skin on the scalp doesn't have problem. These are the effects that I have achieved, and I want to share with you. If you feel, because in your mind you feel that your hair is not dirty, you can wash your hair first, and then you might meditate in the water. Then you can use that water to pour on your head, or if you don't want to pour it on your head, that's no problem. But from my experience, the reason that I experience, because how come in the shampoo that you use on your hair, sometimes it causes you to feel itchy, and the water that we are practicing to use, it doesn't cause your skin to feel itchy, and you never feel like the sweat, the smell, only the smell of the fragrance from the rice. Because you have the energy, you transfer into the rice, to salt and sugar. Supposedly, with sweat, you smell. But in this case, you have a fragrance. On the first day, the rice is still a fragrant. So when you submerge, when you walk out, you think that you have a fragrance. But in fact, since it is in your skin, so you have a fragrant smell. So now, as I'm teaching right now, you do not meditate. Some of you who are in here, sitting here, and I see that you are closing your eyes. I know that you are sleeping. Perhaps last night you stayed up so late. That is how I share with you. In the case that we are practicing to to transform the body, as you are practicing in that warm water, as it can help you to help yourself and others. Meaning that you have your health, so you have others. This water that you mix, this is only for the level 20 alone. I want to give an opinion for you. If at home, some family, let's say a whole family, 4 of you in the house, so the first and the second, the third, the fourth practice, if the water is not warm again, So you can boil the water again and mix it in. So 4 of you, you can use the same container, and each of you walk in to practice. If you have a larger container, so the sisters can practice together, or the brothers can just do it together. If the man and woman do practice together, you're not going anywhere. You sit in there together, you're not going anywhere. I don't know if we can translate this point. So I have mentioned very clearly in the document for you, so you try your best to apply. That is how I want to share with you in the case that you practice. And I also want to announce to you that normally on Sunday in Asia, in Europe, and in South America, I have a designated time for chakra opening and energy transfer for level 4. So for all of you who did not have the chakras or receive the energy transfer, so for now, as you are able to teach and help them anytime because you have the ability, meaning you can open chakras and transfer energy for the children, your own children in your family. If they are from 8 to 12 years of age, at any time, you just open chakra 100% for them only. You cannot transfer energy level 4 for them. Listen carefully. For adults, you teach them level 4. At any time, you can open chakras and transfer energy level 4 for these people to learn. And you do not have to report. With 1,541 of you, if you report to me, then I feel very tired with a lot of work. If like that, I have to buy a lot of paper, and each time when you transfer energy or you open chakra for the class and you send me paper, then a month I have to buy two machines. So you don't have to report. However, but you can confirm when you open chakra 100% and transfer energy level 4. You confirm for those people that you did it. You let them know, or you have a way to confirm that these people had chakra open 100% and learn the level 4. Why? So these people, when they go on level 5, they will have some proof, so they can continue on to learn to the level 5. That is my guideline for all of you. That is the main point I want to share with you. After the end of this seminar, you can apply. So now, in today and yesterday, it was in Holland and Thailand. So now in Australia, you have 3 persons who can ask. In 1 hour later, you and me will have a chance to practice, to merge. Dạ.
Dạ con kính thưa thầy cô.
Dear Master, I would like to send my greetings to all the students in Australia, Holland, and Thailand. It's not a question, but as I learn very slow, I would like for you to show me further through my dreams. In my dream, I do not know because I miss you so much, or in my dream, for the first time, when I did not get to go to Australia, I saw so many people. I was sitting with a lot of people, and you called me and you say, "Come here." And you said something. Perhaps you did not want my body to know. That's why when I wake up, I do not know it. I only know vaguely that it is my master. And at that time, I was able to go to Australia, and it was difficult for me. But I was able to come to Australia. The second time, I was able to see you in a dream, in a situation that with a lot of people. I saw a lot of people with many of the leaders as well as the high being. I don't know who they are, but I greet a lot of people. And when I walk out, I walk with another UV student in Australia, and you ask me that, what do you do when you go to Vietnam? So when I walk out, I see Vietnam. I said that, so now the master is in Vietnam. So I ask you, the case that I see like that? Is it my dream imagination, or is it my soul who knew these things? And I'd like to ask you, there's another situation that when I come to the hospital to visit my family members who are sick, I also have the intention to come to help them. But when I come there, always I felt asleep. I felt so sleepy that I have to sit somewhere to sleep. So I ask you, at that time, was I sleeping or was I working for the deities? And lastly, I would like to ask you to let me know that now the infants that suddenly they could not sleep or they could not drink the milk, so can we merge to this infant? You can see the experience for those of you, the foreigners. This lady, she said she didn't want to ask anything. And I said that each person can ask only 2. But she just asked me to explain to her a few things, but she had 4 questions. The Vietnamese, they are so clever. But they're always cheaters. They are the best cheaters. So, through the presentations, the reason that you have this type of dreams, as you see the body of Master Dang, that is always you want to pray to my soul to come to you, to help you in any situation so that you know. And when I come to you, as I come to your soul reveal to your body this situation and that situation, so that as the body wish and the soul learn and then reveal to the body. That is the principle in the spiritual world. That's why I want to share with you. Just like with your wish or your dream, with all of your wish and your dream, but you could not have any answers. So all of your wish or desire, you see that the body of Master Dang, but in fact the soul of Master Dang, together with your soul, to answer for you in a few situations. So you can confirm with your faith to go on the journey to learn to help other people. So now, as you go to the hospital, before you go to the hospital, you try to transfer energy. Because when you go in, many people in there who are waiting for you, those are the souls who want you to help. When you walk in, you walk around and you want to do this, you want to do something, you have to do it first. To help all these people first, all these souls in there first, then you don't feel sleepy. That is the soul who follow you, cause you to feel sleepy. There's no problem with that. So I advise for you, anywhere, as you come, you take care of your mission first, meaning you merge. And then you can visit your people, the patient, after you have done the energy transfer. Then you will be normal, there's no problem to you. And sometime after you have done so and you feel your body, you feel very happy and healthy. That's how I explain for you. And for the case of infants, the moment they are delivered, when they are from birth, you can merge with them. Like in the case this student had asked, if the infant, they could not sleep or could not drink the milk, have a problem with digestion, if you worry when they have the tooth growth and they have fever and they have diarrhea, they give, in Vietnamese they give them so many different things. So for this infant, you can merge with them and they can heal very fast. They can be healthy. There's no problem with that. At any situation, in the morning they feel better, at night and they feel tired, and they may see this and that vision. You merge with them, then they'll see this type of a problem anymore. So this question, how come this infant, they are afraid? How come they cry at night? Sometimes you think that they are sick, but in fact they are not. I explained for you about the spiritual world, about the soul. We do not see, but they can see, and they were afraid. And when they are afraid, they cried. You still remember when you were in level 6? I give priority for you. You buy the small pyramid in a way to help these children. When they have this vision, they don't see it anymore. With the pyramid, they don't see any vision anymore. Now, you are fortunate that if your children, if they feel uncomfortable in their body, you merge with them, or each day you merge with them once. slowly they feel stronger, they can eat better, and they grow better without any effect. Like in the case of sickness or fever or crying. So all the situation, as you merge, meaning your soul is close to their soul to help them, there's no problem with that. That is the best for you. When you see like that, and each year you just give birth to 1.5. The moment you have birth to one in the first or second month, and then suddenly you get pregnant, so you keep on, the more you are pregnant, the younger you look. That is how I explain for you. For those of you who are laughing, but you don't want to be pregnant. And this man, listen carefully. When I talk about pregnancy, I just want to remind you. You have to be careful for this man. Now this man, I see many of you. Now you say that, for example, you want you have boys and you want to have a girl. You have boy and you have girl. You don't want to have a boy or girl. Can ask another to give birth. Now, how many you want to give birth? No matter what you do to give birth at that time. I'm telling the man, not the woman. Do not laugh. When I talk now you cannot laugh because sometimes they hear everything, but they don't understand. Now I try to translate this. I said that I'm joking, and also it's the real. Sometimes the husband wants to have a boy, and they keep on giving a girl birth to girl, and he's asking the wife to give him a boy, but the wife do not allow him. And the husband said that if you do not, then he'll find another woman to give birth. That meaning he find the second wife. V2 meaning the second wife. Only the second wife that he can have another child. So this first wife do not want it. So they continue. So both of them they have a relationship again. Another boy come out, not a girl. So 6 boys come out. So they feel discouraged and they don't want to. She doesn't want to pregnant, and suddenly she's pregnant and then again and got another girl. So in that way they are lucky. Do you understand that? No, it is so strange. My point here is that both of you want a girl, but you keep on giving birth to a boy, but you don't want to give. Suddenly you don't want to. Suddenly you have a girl, and the girl looks just like a princess because she has 4 brothers already. Just like Teresa want a girl now, perhaps next life, not this life. Not this life. How come? Because she didn't want to give birth, and that is a problem. Because it is enough, my God, to give birth. Less they have to wash the dishes, and the more children they have to still wash the dishes, and without the children they still wash the dishes. So that's how I share with you this question from this student. So now the next, I'll let the translator, the English translator, so Vũ, he can ask. He asked me to ask. Yeah. So now I am going to translate the question into English. First, I also asked the master to explain further about the application, as Krishna had mentioned, the application using the warm water for agriculture, as well as the method to increase height. Also, the Dr. Dick had mentioned about the clarification about opening or closing the eyes in the technique of chakra opening. So these are the 2 questions that I have. The first question regarding merging. Merging in a way just like we are a transmitter, that we are transmitting the frequency of thought. In the level 19, the master had received the soul from far away to merge into the body of the master. At that time, the master had merged with all of us, and we were given the concept 2 as 1, 1 as 2. Now, as the master had done so, in a way the master had given to us the inner peace and the love from the soul of the master to all of us. More or less, all of us, slowly we grasp and we change according to the frequency as the master had given to us through the merging. The reason the master can succeed, it is because from the level 20 until now, we have felt the changes, we have felt the transformation more or less in our own personality, our own thinking, our own perspective of life. The reason the Master can achieve this, that is because the Master has total faith as well as an unbiased mind when the Master is merging with all of us to share with all of us the love and the peace inside the heart. Just like a father giving everything to his beloved children. Now we are in a level 20. The Master is guiding us so that we also do the same thing. But then we need to follow the role of the Master when we are merging to help others in order to send the inner peace and the love to them. But we also have to train ourselves so that we have that inner peace and true love inside of us in order to be able to hope to achieve the result as the Master had done to us. So that is one of the criteria. Second question regarding the concept of no names. As the Master has mentioned to us in this level 20 about the concept of the deities with no names, this is a major change in the concept of religion, because right now in the faith system, most of the people in the world, we need a name of the deities in order to pray to ask for blessing. For example, in Catholics, we were taught that we call out the name of Jesus Christ. For example, in the case of a possession, the priest usually say, in the name of Jesus Christ, I order you to leave this body, for example. Or in Buddhism, we call out the name of Buddha, Sakya, in order to have the blessing. Or in Islam, we often call praise to Allah in order to express our absolute faith. And for example, in one of the recorder from one of the flight in September 11 before death, they were recorded that this terrorist has called out praise Allah. So because of the abuse of the names of the deities until now, through history we have many holy wars, terrorists, etc. But according to the Old Testament, at the time when Moses saw the light of God, at that time God had called Moses to return to Egypt to free the slave. At that time Moses had asked the name of God. The only thing that was answered, it was, I am that I am. So now, with the concept of no names, it is still very new and strange to us. Perhaps it may be very difficult for us when we go back to face religion, because there are so many dogma and laws. So it is quite difficult for us to convince these people with this new concept. So can the Master help us to elaborate more on this? Dạ, con xong rồi thưa Thầy. Dạ, con xong rồi thưa Thầy. Dạ, con xong rồi thưa Thầy. Now let me answer the question from Holland to clarify for you. First, in the water that you use to meditate, you can use it to pour it only for vegetable. If you pour it on the grass, then you will have cutting the grass a lot. Let's say if with the grass, if you do it for selling, then you can pour it. If you pour it to water the grass, then you have to cut the grass quite often. You can use it for flowers, vegetables, or fruit trees. Perhaps you can, for the trees, fruit trees that are old, and you can pour it in, and it may help to grow. And if you keep on pouring this type of water, so the fruit, perhaps as you do that, in a year you have 4 seasons. You are able to sell a lot. If you cannot sell them, have a lot, then you keep them to eat, because you have a lot, the tree will grow a lot. So when you ask, I decide to give you my opinion. So instead of pouring this water away, that's a waste. So this is a water, is good water, with the sufficient energy as you are practicing to merge. So that energy is a very powerful energy. So as you are growing vegetable, fruit trees and flowers, Phát in San Jose, he had the tomato transfer energy with 1,000 of them. So now perhaps you are using this water, and the tomato, you have 6,500 of them. So I agree, you can do this for agriculture. And with this water, as you transfer energy and you practice, you leave it for 2 days. After you practice, and then you pour it out, there's no problem with that. And secondly, Now, when you hear this, for those of you, I do not want to say that you are short. I'm saying that you have a relative Japanese. Now you can hear the good news. So now each time when you receive the light of God aura and you merge for yourself in the level 20 now here, you can try it. In the morning, you pray and receive the light of God aura 2 seconds into your head, and you merge with my soul 3 times. Then you have treated yourself for yourself. Then you merge to the location below your chakra 2 to help to promote growth. So you merge 3 times to the location below the chakra 2. In a way, you are increasing your height. And then when your height is increased, meaning you feel the aches and pains of the knees and the joint, you don't treat the local. You just continue. In the morning, you take care, merge with me 3 times. In the way you are treating yourself, and you merge 3 times to the location below the chakra 2. So you are able to increase your height. And first of all, for those of you who are young, and when you see that you are growing, then you can stop. If you keep on practicing instead of 1.4 meter, and you grow up to 1.9, then you don't have, you cannot buy any more clothing. So when you feel that your height is at the desired height, then you don't transfer energy anymore. So I advise for you about in the case of increasing height, there's no limit of the age. At that time, in a way, I'm bringing the bone to help the bone growth. So now I answer for you. Now you're confused about this, so listen carefully. If you open chakra 100% and you transfer energy level 4, then you close your eyes. That is your open chakra collectively. Listen carefully. And when you open chakra for individual, meaning the handicapped people, when you do it by hand with your 4 fingers, the 4 fingers on 4 chakra, and the 2 fingers you place on the chakra 6 and 7, then you open your eyes. This I remind many times. And now I tell you, if that person is handicapped, and the person is beautiful, but the person is, and if you try to touch that person, the chakra 2, 3, 4, and you try to go to the front, then you have a problem. So that's why you have to open your eyes. Because a handicap, you can close your eyes, you cannot, you don't see, so you don't know where you touch. And if you keep on touching, that will be a problem for you. If you keep on close your eye and touch, and anyone who open chakra and over here, keep on touching inside the chakra in the behind, but you keep on touching to the front. This one I'm trying to prepare for you because I know the mentality of my students. So I'm a little worried about that, so I have to be careful. Just like to open chakra, 2 person, a man with a man, a woman and a woman, and whatever you want to do, it is up to you. But to practice with 2 opposite sex, it is a different, except only if you are the boyfriend or girlfriend or a couple, meaning you are a couple. Just say that you over here and me over here, and you just come and you jump into the container. After the practice in a container for 6 times, and suddenly the 7th time you are pregnant. I worry about it. So Miss Wine here said, an old lady, and she heard it and she's still laughing. So to the question that the Vu had asked, let me explain for you. In the case that I explained for you, now as I merge with you, from the starting from the day that the class finished, I explained for you sadness, happy, unintentional, or intentional, all the misunderstanding, all the situation. If you want to try to practice to merge, it is your soul will take care of your body. That is one of the special sign for the level 20. In the past, when you close your eyes, and you do the breathing, and you pray to God, and you pray to the Soul Master Dang, and then you receive the light of God 2 seconds and 3 seconds and sending here and there, you still have distraction at that time. For that reason, in this level 20, we go higher, meaning we have the higher soul with wisdom enlightenment. The soul with wisdom enlightenment that can help your body without any distraction, then you are able to merge immediately. After you close your eyes, you pray to the Soul Master Dang to merge, so you can merge to help others. You don't have distraction. And in the future, when you pray to the soul of Master Dang to merge with you, you can merge to A, B, C, D, and here and there in a shortest time, and you lose all the sensation of your body. Losing lose sensation for a long period of time. And if there are some noises, the moment you regain back the sensation, and you will lose it again. And that would be in the same ordinary case when you are practicing. But if your body and your soul had to travel to where they have a disaster area or war, when you travel to a distance far away, why? So when you close your eyes like this, when you practice, your body can transform into energy to travel to space. Even if there are loud noise, you would not be awakened. At that time, you were not here. So with these noises, I just say ordinary noise, even a loud noise, you would not be able to hear it. So you know that is one of the results that your body and your soul had come to a location to help in this area. And these are the area with a catastrophe. So listen carefully. I explain for you like that so you can understand and you know, so you don't have to worry because of the distraction of the external and the internal that you are not able to practice, and with your worry or concern you are not able to achieve it. All of that, the new souls, after the end of this seminar, and that new soul will help your body so that you are able to practice effectively to complete the mission that the deities had given to us, to contribute to help the family, the country, and furthermore, we can help the community in the world. Now, as you know, how come before I teach the level 20, I use the mention that from name return back to no names. As you know, the religion they all have for the past 25 centuries until now. Buddhism, Catholics, and Islam, as well as all the religion in the world. Many of them, they have their religious founder. So now, whose name that you're going to use? What name can you use? You say that you are Buddha. If it is Buddha, do the Buddhists believe in you? You say you are Jesus. And the Catholic, do they believe in you? You say that you are Muhammad. The Muslim, do they believe you? No. In fact, even if these beings are really in you, these people would not believe you. For that reason, I have to use the term of a no-name being, so that this being asked the unknown soul of Master Dang here to help the country, to help the people, to help the religion to develop. So the last point for me to remind to all of you, the students, if you see the result, if you act good, then you should thank the religious founder. You should thank your country, your people. You should thank your ancestor. Do not thank Master Dang. After I complete my mission, Master Dang will leave. In that way, we would not step on anyone's toe. If right now, let's say if it is Muhammad, if Muhammad come to Master Dang to say, for sure the two would cause problem to me, Buddhists and Catholics. And even if Jesus Christ in here, so the Muslim will also cause problem to me. So it is best to have no name. No name, then nobody would know. There's no name, so nobody would know. And for that reason, the being that come to me, very clever, this unknown soul had never been on earth, so there's no name on here. Is it right? Nobody can claim because it never been on earth. That is the reason. I'm going on we are all go on a straight road. So it is everything will be straightforward. From the past until now, even though I'm wearing the material to work on the spiritual, but I have a lot of opposition and conflicts. But in fact, I do not want to say any religion. Any religion, they are afraid that their followers to come to me. I do not need that. Only the Vietnamese alone. That caused problem to me. Now in here, there are people from 50 countries with 50 languages. As you follow me, each language, I need to have a translator. How do I have the money to hire all the translator to talk to you? The Vietnamese, you follow me. And the Vietnamese, many of them, they have a lot of, they're busy with everything. It is difficult for them to follow me. When they follow me, then I have to take care of them for the past many years. I thought that they follow me to help me, but in fact, they follow me to carry my suitcase. But in fact, my God, I have to carry the suitcase for them. So it's best for me to walk alone. I don't have to carry suitcase for anyone. I just carry on my backpack, and it's not even sure. So I tell you the truth. That is how I share with you through this question that from Vu, so that you can clear everything in the past, so that we can prepare for a new people, new future. The people from with names to return back to no names. Only in that way we can help all the people with names. The people with names, if they have, over here they praise, and over there they oppose. So in that way, one is dead and the other is wounded. If they fight each other, through this opposition they fight. That's why one is dead, the other is wounded. I shared with you 34 years ago. The deities taught me, I asked. So now with all of the sorcerers, that in the past, suddenly I ask, but with all the black magic, as well, one is dead and before dying, and they retaliate, and the other is wounded. So I do not want that. I want to learn something that I can have both. The deity said that I need to learn. So I follow to learn all the way until now, as the deity revealed that there's a circle. You have the big circle around. When whatever they throw, and I don't have to block, because you have the ability to block as they strike you. When they strike you, when they cannot fight you, and when you try to really retaliate because of your anger, then one die and one wounded. So that is the reason. 34 years ago, when I learned, I want to share with you. I don't know anything about black magic. Some people that said that I went from Egypt, I learned black magic from Egypt. I do not know how to use some black magic. The one who closest to me that said that I have the learned black magic from Egypt. If I use black magic from Egypt, if I have it, then I don't have to cast a spell. The people who say that I use cast a spell from Egypt, they said that I use Egyptian spell. I do not know how to use a spell. Master Dang do not teach anything about black magic. She said that I use Egyptian spell. In Australia, you can hear. And they said that Master Dang had cast the Egyptian spell. I do not know how to cast. My God, if I have the spell, all the people would die. So that is the point. Now I share with you through the presentation. With no name, we are not stepping on anyone's toes. With all the names, mean that is, as you can see, the first civilization. For the past few days, I mentioned to you, because of the name, the first human race has the second human race. They retaliate each other, and eventually the third one it retaliate and knock out the second. Eventually they all destroy each other. So on the fifth one we don't have anything. So with that there is no fight or struggle. So now all of us, we are fortunate that all of them now they merge with us to help us with wisdom and enlightenment, and to clear for us. We do not need power and selfishness. Then we have everything. This is a new people. And in Vietnam, so this in a way this is an original products. So now we have the original products, so there is no competition, because we just give out all the original products. Then for sure we will never have a problem with competition as for others when they bring it out. Some people buy, because now as we give it for free, so everybody would take it. So my point here, now those who want to learn more, they have more. If they don't want to learn, they still receive, meaning that you are treating them and you give it to them. So in the teaching of EV, we are able to achieve. They learn more, they can have, and they learn less, and they receive less, and they don't learn, and they still receive. That is an energy. That is how I share with you. In that way, we are able to clear everything, the past. After the time of the four human race on earth, with selfishness and power, they lost everything. Everything was erased. Now the fifth human race, if we go back to the same path of the past, then for the humankind we will have more trial for a long time. Now we have been tested for 200,000 years until now. 200,000 years may be a lot, but comparing to the first human race, all of its masters who were there for millions of years, not just only hundreds of thousands of years. So at this final stage, at the end of the 20th century, beginning of the 21st century, you and me, we have the chance to learn, to progress. Besides the fact that we can progress, we are helping all of our people so they all can progress just like us. Then we establish order on earth, meaning people with longevity in the past, the people with ability, with wisdom and enlightenment, and because of power and selfishness, and they were able to live up to 5,000 years. As you know, if now you, me, all of us, if we take away the selfishness and the power, and if we have the ability with wisdom and enlightenment, the body and the soul, then our lifespan we cannot calculate with time and space, with the condition that we're helping mankind, we're helping our people to achieve the objective as you and me, we all volunteer to learn. Then the human in the future, they will be very happy. So now, to the master, the subject of this class is spiritual science. I would like to report to you and share with everything about the coincidence, about the achievement of spiritual science. If we follow that your teaching in here, in Holland and in Thailand, there are many researchers on science and technology. They will find a way to explain according to scientific knowledge, following your teaching. Hopefully that my thinking can help my colleagues to be able to research further, because with everything that I have thought, it is also go according to the scientific knowledge. The antenna is like a system that in science, all of the system of technology and science have a common ground, that they receive and transmit energy, like the light bulb or the car. They also receive energy, fuel, and change into dynamic energy to move the car, or receive energy or to emit the light. So all this system in science, they have the characteristic of receive and send energy. And in the system of science and technology, there is one of the special case that they mentioned a closed loop system. For those who are in science, you know about this closed loop system that they can monitor in a closed loop control system. This closed loop system also has a special condition that is called an unstable condition, meaning at that time the energy received is equal to energy that is transmitted, and that condition of the energy, it is equivalent. So when it reaches that condition, the receiving as well as the transmitting energy is equivalent, then it will bring to a case of self-magnification to infinity. The example, as you can see in the class, always that happen when a microphone, when it receive the energy from the sound and transmit through the speakers, and the microphone is receive the energy. So when the energy is transmitting out and it bounce back into the microphone, then at that time I don't have to speak in, it will magnify. So you have that feedback echo when it is amplified, and then you hear such a loud noise. If we don't disconnect it, and that loud noise would be very loud, and as it can go to infinity, meaning it can burn the speaker. So in that situation that happened, that energy reached that infinity. So the system of the antenna is also a system to receive and transmit energy. The system of the antenna, if there is a purpose in its physical appearance, then so there is like a stone with its own purpose close to a river, there is a soul. So the antenna also has a soul, and that soul knows that it has the ability to receive and transmit energy, but it doesn't have the experience. When we practice so that our body can transform into energy, we are able to reach the situation of the closed loop, unstable condition. As we are the receiving and the transmitting state are equivalent, and we are able to raise the energy level to infinity at that time. In science, they know if the energy is activated to the maximum, then the object can move to the velocity is move up to the speed of light. When we have the ability to receive and transmit energy to practice so that our body can reach the state to transform into energy, then we have that knowledge. Additionally, we have the ability to merge into the antenna. Then the antenna already have that latent ability, but without the experience to apply the formula to have that closed loop to reach that state of infinity in terms of the energy. So combining with the knowledge of science in the system of receiving and transmitting energy with that special condition to reach the ability to magnify to infinity, then that energy can be magnified to reach the state that in fact, if we say that we are receiving 10, we transmit 10, then we have 0. But if we don't do anything, then we don't have anything. But if we receive 1 and we give 1, and we have 0. And the condition of receiving and transmitting, that is equivalent in science, that reach that magnification up to infinity. That is the terminology in science, but in spiritual terminology, we say that in 0 we have everything, meaning we have infinity. So that is the condition of the antenna, that it has to combine these two characteristics, that there is someone with the ability to receive and transmit energy, to transform the body into energy, so that the knowledge, the not experience, when we merge into the antenna, then the antenna with that latent ability and with the soul, with that experience, as it know, just like a child when try to ride bicycle, if you merge with the child, so with that your experience, the child will know how to ride a bicycle, because in the beginning the child lacked the experience to ride a bicycle. So with your merging, you are able to help to share that experience. Hopefully my explanation may not be correct, or maybe you are just laughing and that have pity for me, but it seems to be appropriate with science. And for those who are in the field of science and technology who knows about this closed loop control, then you understand about this special situation when we the receiving and transmitting energy is equivalent. We reach that state of magnification to infinity, and at time we have infinite ability. So can you elaborate further on that point? Now, before I answer for you, in here we have a guest that we want to greet this guest. To greet this guest, he's the advisor who's also in charge of the Asian in here, and he's also a close friend to our Iwi family, as he's here to attend and participate with us in order to receive our energy when later on, when I practice and work with you, so you practice to travel to space. This representative for the government in here, also in the large Iwi family, particularly he's the advisor of the Premier in Victoria here. So now he can stand up so people can see you. So now all of you in Thailand, in Holland, you get ready. So after you merge with me in about 5-10 minutes, then you practice together with me to travel to space. And then the guest who is in here to audit here, after we practice, then I'll answer. And if you are able to sit here to, or if you have to do your work, then this guest he will have to go back because he has a lot of work. Who could just spend a little time to come here with us. Each time when we have a large seminar, in most of the large seminar, he would come to visit us, to share with us, because he's one of the family in here. So I want to share with you. So now in Holland, in Thailand, as well as in Australia, I give you 1 minute to get ready. After 1 minute to get ready, then you can sit to practice with me to travel to space, just as we have done so in the past few days.
Holland is ready.
So now begin. This finish. For Mr. Hồng Liêm, if you are free, you have the time, you can participate with us. Or if you are busy, you can go because of your work. There's no problem. So now, through the question of this student who is a technician, that is Mr. Tu from San Jose in America, who come here, through his presentation, then for sure it contribute a little bit to the teaching of UE, more or less, because Tu had give the explanation in science, but I give the explanation in spiritual. In fact, when we have the large antenna models, when I place in other countries in the world now and in the future, more or less, we are able to neutralize in the spiritual realm in order to help the wandering souls, the soul of the unknown soldier, as well as all of the souls who are not able to liberate it. We can help them easily if they wish. Because this invisible being, not just 10 or 20 centuries, but they've been around for thousands and millions of centuries. They have never left Earth. For that reason, this antenna model that I place all over the world with the purpose to help all of these souls that are necessary to help them so that they can be liberated. And in the environment on Earth, with the global warming, with the food, nutrients, air, contamination, all of this toxic in the air that cause a problem all over the world, the environment is polluted all over the world. For that reason, with this antenna model that I place in a country that has an energy to neutralize and help in the environment, to clear the contamination in the air, to solve the global warming on Earth as well as in each region. So these are two aspects that will help. Additionally, as our soul and your soul, my soul with the ability to merge this object with my soul to protect, to help the region where you have the antenna. I do not explain from a scientific perspective. The explanation in scientific perspective, my students all over the world, there are so many of you in the field of science. And among these, like Mr. Tu right here, for example, who prove that eventually you have the ability to contribute to help mankind through the spiritual, as well as the explanation and answers from the science to prove that we can really help effectively to help mankind. That is a point that Mr. Tu he had mentioned. When we have the powerful energy, you can merge anywhere, and we are able to control the antenna model in front of you, as I placed in Melbourne, at the altar of mankind ancestor, that a number of you who know that today you have a chance, you are able to see clearly. This is the antenna, the first one that will be placed in Australia, and the antenna that have been placed in Vietnam and other countries that slowly I'm sending to other countries in the world at the present and in the near future. You can see it is such a simple design, but it can draw in universal energy. If there is lightning, the energy from outer space that come to Earth and cause some problem, this is the one that can neutralize the energy to regulate the energy. That is in the field of science that Mr. Tu has presented. From a spiritual aspect, this is the most powerful energy to help all of the souls who want to return to the deities, to evolve. This antenna model has a sufficient energy to help because I merge with this antenna, and this antenna that I allow all of you to merge so that you can practice. It's not that you are merging to give, you are merging so that you can practice. So in the future, you will have the ability to merge to any people or object on Earth. at this present time we are living in this three-dimensional world. So the representation for Mr. Tu, it's not that it's not correct. It is correct. I also thank Mr. Tu to prove from a scientific perspective for those of you who are researching in spirituality, and to prove to a number of you who are non-scientists, so that you know clearly why I place antenna and the meaning, and why the antenna that you practice, why the antenna that you have in the level 6 to practice. So all of these cases, these are the means that I send to you, so you learn and evolve in the field of science and spirituality, that for the past 18 years of my teaching in UE, until now today, in this week, you have a chance, you are able to learn the highest level in UE, and from now to the future, there is no higher level like this one. And the highest level in UE, it is organized in 3 locations, Australia, Holland, and Thailand, that you are very fortunate that you are able to learn in person right here with me. In the future, perhaps I would teach or not. If I can teach, you would learn through television as I connect through many locations. So with everything that I have taught you for the past 5 days, and today is the last day of the class, hopefully you are able to learn and understand. So you try your best to carry out, not just to help yourself, your family, your region. Furthermore, you can help the communities in the world. I'm not boasting, but as I've been teaching for 18 years, with everything that I have taught you in the past 18 years, you have achieved the result more or less. And anywhere that I place the antenna, that is a place that is very lucky in a way of the country where I reside right here in Australia. In recent months, with the problem of drought, lack of water, for me, I'm not concerned about that. And now as I place the antenna, as my soul with the ability to merge, to help in any situation, if it happens in Australia in general, or in Victoria in particular, in any situation. And this is the place that is very safe comparing to others, because they research properly on spirituality to prove in science, as Mr. Tu had given the proof. So right here, for those who are lucky who stay in Melbourne, in the region close to me, it will be beneficial for all of you. Do not worry about anything. Do not be afraid of the cold or the hot weather, or the contamination in the environment, or the powerful energy from outer space that may come to cause problem in Australia or damage in Australia. That the scientists around the world are concerned about it. But to me, I do not pay attention to this. As I know, I have the ability, I contribute not just for anyone in particular, but depending on fate and destiny, I contribute to help first or later. These are the effects that I want to share with you through the presentation before the end of the class. In the field of science, it also going according to spiritual, as I have been teaching you for the past few days. That is to mark the point that you have understand better how come you have the ability to help yourself and you can help others in all of the environment that are available. The most difficult environment at the present time is the contamination, the air, energy, food, nutrients, drinking water. All of these conditions have been prepared all over the world, and over here I'm preparing the most. For the past few days, I mentioned to you in America, with the Mississippi River, in Australia here, there is the Yarra River, all of that river in America as well in Australia. No one would dare to use that water. That is the pure water. But in the future, with the contamination water, that would be the water source to save us. In America, as many of you who come to learn, in the future, you would use the water from the Mississippi River. In Australia, you would use the water from the Yarra River to convert into a good source of water, so that to help you with your health. So, I don't worry about water. Electricity, I don't worry about that. I have prepared for you with the antenna. If it is needed, all over, with the anywhere including the entire country of Australia, when there is a power loss for 3 days, when they cannot recover power, at that time, I would use the antenna. With my energy, with the energy from the universe, we can generate electricity to use. When I can generate electricity to use, I will have a formula to share with you all over the world, so we can solve the problem of electricity. If you have the large antenna that many countries had ordered, and others will continue to order from Australia. That is how I share with you through the presentation of Mr. Tu. I also thank Tu that you share with all of us about the science, to share for those who are non-scientists, people, to prove between the teaching of UE that there is a similarity between science and spirituality with the effect. The reason that we have this result, it is to help the country, the people, and furthermore, we are able to help the communities in the world. That is a precious lesson that for the past few days, as you are able to receive. This time, with more than 1,500 of you, you have many opportunities after this class. You can contribute to help any situation, not only in the case of healing alone. You need to remember this point and take careful notes, so that when you go back, starting tomorrow, you will have the good condition for you to carry out, and perhaps you'll be very busy. Busy in many aspects, not only in the case of medicine or complementary medicine or health alone. That is the secondary one. It is not necessary. Whatever is needed, you need to prepare. When you go back to your home, your country, you have a chance to contribute. So that is my guideline, and also the presentation from Mr. Tu. I give you my answer to share with you. So now we continue on. For a person in Holland, now in Holland you can ask.
Dạ thưa thầy, trước hết con kính chào thầy và cô.
First of all, I would like to send my greetings, as well as all the people from 3 countries. Now, I have the questions from the beginning of the class until now. This is the last day of the class. Since I have the children, I was not able to be in the class. Yesterday, I hear that you mentioned that you transfer energy for the level 20, so we can open chakras and teach the family members from a distance. So, dear Master, my father is severely sick for the past few days, and you have treated my father, so now his condition improved a lot. I would like to thank you. Dear Master, I do not come to the class to receive the energy. I would like to ask you, can I teach my brother because of the severe sickness, and my parents in Vietnam with the severe sickness? Can you answer for me? I would like to thank you, Master. As you're asking, I don't understand what you're trying to ask. When I transfer energy to teach you, were you in the class when I teach you? When I transfer energy so you can open chakras and transfer energy level 4, sometimes you say yes and sometimes you say no, and you said you're in and you're out. I don't know what you're talking about. I only know that your father is sick, and for a long period of time, and you treat now. You want to have the open chakras and transfer energy that your sister is far away and you are here. So when I teach you the technique to open chakra 100% and transfer energy level 4, so that you don't have to open chakra level 1, level 2 at that time, where are you? You are at home or you are in the class? If you're in the class and you sit outside the hall over here, I transfer energy, you still receive it. But if you're at home, then I have to transfer energy for you. But if you are late, I have to already transfer energy for you. I want to know from Vietnamese. I have a pity for many Vietnamese. Dear Master, at that time when you transfer energy, I because of the children, I could not go into the class. I was standing outside the hall. I'm afraid that can I have the opportunity to open chakra for my families or not? So now only one person with 1,541 of you, only one. So for that, I'll transfer energy for you. You don't worry about it. But to open chakras, you listen carefully. When you go to Vietnam, to open chakra level 3, level 4, the technique I have shown you already, you have to do it in person, not from a distance. If you read it from a distance, only for the children from 8 to 12 years old, then you can do it from a distance, from far away, only for the children. This is your own, the children of the Iwi family, your children, then they can benefit from this. But if you want to teach your parents, your brother or sister, your family, then you have to come to Vietnam and you open chakra for them. The technique to open chakra I have shown you already. I know this student, I can transfer energy for you. Now 1,541 of you, that's one person, I can do it faster. So you rest assured. Tomorrow or tonight, later you call me and I transfer energy, I help you so you can do that for one person. Now, next person in Holland.
Dear Master, dear Lady Teresa, I want to thank you for the opportunity to attend this class and to be here on this beautiful seminar. As I can say, alien seminar. I want to ask, dear Master, I have a nephew, she is 10 years old and a half. She is playing chess and she had opened chakras 100% when Master allowed. After one competition, chess competition, she told me that in one moment she has not idea for next movement, what to play in one game. And at that moment she remembered to Master Dang. And as she told me later, she asked the soul of Master Dang, who is big like a sun, to help her. And she said me that in next moment she has a brilliant idea what to move, and she won in the end. She was on her first place. After that, I asked myself, who is the soul of Master Dang? On the level 19, Master Dang explained us that the soul of God, the soul of the first man on earth is Master Dang, but I was asking myself how to improve my faith. If one child who is 10 years old have a faith and belief that the soul of Master Dang is big like a sun, I'm asking myself and asking my colleagues also, and I want to ask you, Master, to explain a little bit more about the new concept of souls. Because you are teaching us here about new spirituality, new lessons, new humanity, new people, new age, so probably there is a new concept of souls. And I hope that you will explain us a little bit more so we can understand a little bit better. My second question is about you were talking us in the last few days about power and selfishness. I was trying to think about myself. Probably I'm selfish also. I want a power struggle in past. After level 19, a little bit less, but after level 20, I hope no more power struggle and no more selfishness between us in this level, and also between all the people on this planet Earth. What I want to ask this, how we can fight against power struggle and against selfishness in ourselves. What means, I was just thinking, is the power of love, what you're teaching us here, is the most powerless power, the power above the all powers on this earth, on this universe. If it is so, please teach us how to reach the power of love. Love all people, love all living creatures, love everything what is on this earth and on this universe. If it is so, please teach us also how to be humble. And is it humbleness also very important about this new lesson? Thank you very much. Thank you to all my colleagues. And if Master tell us that the power of love is the most powerful love, then please, my colleague, to learn this lesson, to help ourselves first, and to help our children, our nephews, our families, our neighbors, our countries, our religions, so we can be united and we can help finally for the new humanity and new things what is coming on this planet Earth. Thank you very much.
Now, through the presentation of this student, I want to share my experience to you. As you know, that young girl believed in my soul. From the time she think of my soul, in a split of a second, I merged with her soul to help her with brilliant ideas. Just like me, as the student had asked the question, and before that, a Vietnamese too had asked the question, I did not prepare. I don't have any document. I do not prepare any documents. I don't know what question you're going to ask to prepare. Even though in level 20 it is a newest class and the first class I teach you, I never have any document or prepared. How come the presentation of Mr. Tu as well as the past 5 days, many of you had asked questions. I give you a clear answer to all of your questions and all very new questions. The body of Master Lảo Minh ĐÁNG do not know what you're going to ask, but then the soul of Master Lảo Minh ĐÁNG knows everything in order to prepare to answer to you. Therefore, the nephew of this student who thought about me, I was there. Just like you. You learn from level 1 up to level 19 in UE, as you learn in person with me or indirectly with me, that each time when you need, when you have problem, I give you my opinion. When you think of my soul, I come there and help you with the brilliant ideas to solve everything. That is, you have already learned. This nephew did not learn, but with the chakra open, at least she understood. The one who opened the chakra, or who you learned from, and that's all she remembered, but she was able to get help. Who knows, these are the bodies, even though 10 years old, but these are the soul that are from you, as you are merging to her soul, that she was not aware of it. Through the journey, after 19 times of the changes, more or less, here or there, who knows, when you go through the changes, as you go from one level to another, this soul merged with the family members, your loved one. So in the case, when they think of Master Lảo, it's not so difficult. The motive that push them, so they have this similar energy frequency with me, so when they think of me, I come and can help her. It's not this child is the first case. Most of the students in UE, the adults, as well as many youngsters, I advise for you, if you believe in Master Lảo, and you request to the Soul Master Lảo, and ask the Soul Master Lảo, my body may be far away, but when you think of the Soul Master Lảo, the Soul Master Lảo come to help you immediately, regardless of any situation. The Soul Master Lảo can come and help you. That is how I explain for you through the presentation from this student with your needs that as you have that explanation. Now you ask about my soul. In the year 2007, I said at this time, for the last time, another soul that come to the body of Master Dang and stay permanent. And this soul had never been on this earth, and this soul has no name. Only the body has a name, Lảo UNG MINH ĐÁNG. Listen carefully. I have mentioned already, but no matter how you ask, that is the answer, because there's no name. For sure, there's no name. Because there's no name. This is unknown soul. So you just think it as an unknown soul. As you know, this unknown soul that is in the body of Master Dang, if you think of the soul Master Dang, and that is an unknown soul that come to help you. Just like this 10-year-old girl who never see the face of Master Dang, just think of the soul Master Dang. The soul Master Dang come to help that child to be able to succeed in her chess competition. Now I explain for you the four human race, the first, second, third, and fourth human race in the past. The first was gone, and the second one still repeat the same mistakes because of the problem with the power and selfishness. That's why these four human race return to the deities, now bring back to the fifth human race without wisdom and enlightenment. They lost the wisdom and enlightenment, but they still have the others, power and selfishness, and that also includes Master Dang. Master Dang just cleared recently in the year 2006 and the past. Master Dang wants power and also is selfish. I want to have the power to help people without any problem. It doesn't mean that I have power in order to oppress people, no, but I could not achieve with power any form of power as you wish. That's why in the fifth human race on earth, now in the future you will have power, the power in the dark, so that you are able to help those who are powerful in the light. Then you can be successful, meaning you are an advisor. The advisor meaning from the invisible power, so you can help those in a physical form so that they can achieve. That is to help the people with peace and prosperity. That is something we can help. I can help. You and me, we can help in that sense, so that we can establish social order to bring peace and prosperity for the country, to develop the economy for the country where you reside. For that reason, as I mentioned to you, after the level 20, you'll be so busy with many aspects. Each person, you have many things, not just only one that you can help. Do not think that after the level 20, you go back home, you take care about the health, you take care about treatment and teaching. These are the secondary one in the UE teaching. There are more important tasks that you can help. You do not say that you go back home and you try to teach or you treat people. No, these are the secondary one. There are many other necessary one that I warn you, so you can prepare your mind before you return home. A number of you who after the class you are still go for a tour, whatever you do to travel, but when you return back to your homeland, when you return back to your country, to your family, you have many opportunities, not just one, so that you can contribute to help in many aspects, not just only one. That is how I warn you ahead. But then, as you know, the power of love, that is only a theory in the human world. The four human race, they have the same thing. The power that we talk about, love can erase the hatred. Love to love all of living creatures, we don't have. Only your own self, you do not even love your own self. Then don't say that you can love anyone. You don't love anyone, I know. If you love your body, meaning you love the soul of the cell inside your body, they have been living with you from the moment when you were born until the moment of your death. Sadness, anger, you cause problem to them. And when they have problem, then it causes sickness in your body. That I have taught you after 19 levels already. All of you, you can change, but not much. For that reason, the deities had let me organize a level 20. This is a new soul that come to merge with you to your body to help you completely. Instead of you go to pray to Christ, to Buddha, to Mohammed, or to pray to the angel, the guardian in your faith, So right next to you, these are the one with wisdom and enlightenment who can help you to overcome all. So you can act to help other people. This is something you can do. This is something we said that we go on a shortcut. We're not going in circle. From the past until now, you've been going in circle for a long time. Now we go on a shortcut in such a short time, and it is effective, beneficial for other people. It's not only for yourself, but for all the people. These are the people that you help. My point here is your country, your people, or the people in your region or the organization where you work. That's how I give you a general answer. Now, do not open the book and say that you can apply the love. That is the expressive love in the human world. It's not fake. The love in the energy, that is infinite. As a soul, you don't eat or wear, and it is real. You use this true love, the love from your true self. Then you can meet the demand to help the love of your ego. The true self can help the ego. The ego cannot help the true self. You said that you love. You may love for real. For example, you can only love in a theory. You say you love, but then you forget. You don't remember. Because it is only a theory in a material way. That is your ego. Even though you love, I tell you the truth, you love. You also cry. But then 5 minutes later you forget. The true self, the ego, the moment it is appeared, you forget. But the true self, but you do not know how to apply. In this class, I let you apply the true self completely to meet the demand to help the humankind. At this time, as we have the threat on Earth with global warming, with the pollution all over the world, with the environment. These are the case that I'm preparing for you to work. It's not that I say that I deny the concept of love, but the love expressed by the theory from the ego, it doesn't go anywhere. This is the love in the misunderstanding. They praise you, then you say this one is good, and they do not like you, and then you say that they are bad. Sometimes you misunderstood. And when you hear them, if you are not clear, you do not understand, you misunderstand, then it is a pity for yourself, not for them, because you misunderstand them. But in fact, in your heart, you're not bad, but you misunderstand, suddenly you turn to be bad. So that is, you love your ego, not the true self. And the true self, whether they say right or wrong, it is still the same. From the book in the East, from the Buddhism, they mention one thing I remember. I learned from the time when I was young. I repeat one of the saying that I learned. If they have sinned, for sure you condemn them. When you condemn them, you don't have compassion. Is that right? If they don't have sin, and you condemn them, meaning that you are in the dark. It is not that you have an evil intention, because tradition, culture, family, society, that you misunderstand them, but your true nature, you are good. But because of this 4 factor, that all of the human in the world, we are tied by tradition, culture, family, society, that cause our ego to appear and block and close our true self. If we are not tied by tradition, culture, family, society, then you will have the true self appear. Then, whether the person is good or bad, you have a pity for them. That in the level 13, I have taught you from the level 13 to level 19, you forgot. Is that right? So for that reason, now I have the level 20. Even if you don't want to remember, you will. If you want to forget, I'll wake you up so you cannot forget. Forget your true self. Only those with wisdom and enlightenment can control your body, and they are ready. Tomorrow they will see you. Tomorrow, tonight, if you still stay awake, they cannot go in yet. After you sleep, and at night when they merge with you, and tonight I know, my God, tonight in Australia, many of you who stay up to 2 or 3, and tonight you wake up until 6 a.m. If you did not sleep, then they could not go in. So try to sleep maybe half an hour. So at that half an hour when you fall asleep, when you are completely asleep, if you stay up from now to 6 in the morning, then you fall so exhausted that you just close your eyes. And even if somebody hit you, you cannot be awake, then they can enter to you. I tell you the truth. Whatever you do, you try to sleep at least half an hour today. So tonight nobody wants to stay awake. You're afraid that they cannot enter to you. So I share with you, through this question, I share with you the means so you can prepare to receive the new soul, that you will have the opportunity to have wisdom enlightenment to contribute to have in many situations that will happen and continue to happen on earth with the threat. Now go on, next question.
Buenos días, maestro. Buenos días, Teresa, Doctora Teresa. Good morning, Master. Good morning, dear Dr. Teresa. I'm always very emotional and very happy to see you, all of my brothers and sisters from Universal Energy here in Australia, in Thailand. Dear Master, here is also Father Gerardo Guerra, who wants to salute you, and I'm going to ask an invitation from his name. Salúdalo. Bueno, I have two questions, Master. I say Mother is our Master, that is our Father and everything. And from Father Gerardo, he has a very special invitation. In Mexico, in Monterrey City, there will be a worldwide congress. It is named Peace and Spirituality. In this congress, there will be together some of the top scientists, some of the top religion leaders, and some of the people working in applying different techniques of meditation and complementary medicine as well. Father Gerardo, he's going to be participating into this Congress, applying his scientific knowledge and his religious knowledge, and also the knowledge about Yui. The organizers of this Congress, they want to invite you, Master, and they want you to set the date and the hour where you will be able to go and teach all these people. It will be in a very big arena for thousands of people, and the dates are from September 25th to September 29th. So Father Gerardo will send you by mail so that you can receive the invitation, and you will, if it's possible, that you go and together with all, you share all your knowledge about peace and spirituality. Thank you, Master. Ya le hice la invitación. Y si quieres después decirle algo, sí, y le voy a plantear las preguntas. Sí. ¿Quieres? Master, in the name of all the students of Mexico, we would like to ask you a big antenna. I think our country maybe will need more than one big antenna, but we hope you accept our request, dear Master. I have two short questions, Master. Long time ago, you say that in the future, the world will change very quickly. From one day to another, during the night, we will have a very big change. And during this change, all the people will go into a false death, that they will fall into a coma, kind of a coma, and that we will be able to help them. And those people that will come again to life, that they will follow universal energy. I would like, if it is possible, Master, if you can explain a little more about how this big change will come to the earth, and how, if you can explain a little more about this state of coma or false death, if you can give us an advice, how will be this big change into the earth? And another question, Master, is when you say, Master, that we will be able to choose a physical body so that a soul of a person that has died in an accident, even if it is an unknown person or it is the body of a family member, and we are going to choose a new body for the soul to continue the path. How can we know, Master, if the mission that will continue this soul, it will be the mission that God is giving, or it is a different mission, Master? How can we be certain, or if it is better that we allow free this soul to go back again to God, so that can God give the special mission to this soul? Or which is the reason why we choose another body? What kind of power do we have to go beyond this freedom of this soul to go back to God and have a new mission? I hope it is clear, Master, and I'm really waiting the moment to receive the new soul, because during these last times, especially the struggle, the power struggle between the couple is very difficult. And I feel a very deep love for all the people, and sometimes this struggle goes out, and we really need to learn about this real and deep love, Master, and with this deep love we send you our regards and our love to everybody. And I hope that everybody feels it from the real and deep being that we have inside in our heart. Thank you for your teachings and for all your love. Thank you. Gracias, Maestro. Gracias. Gracias. ¿Quieres decirle algo al maestro del Congreso o algo?
Master, in addition to what Christina Kramer has said to you, is that this forum of cultural in Monterrey is patronized by government of Monterrey, the state of Nuevo León, the universities of Nuevo León, the Technological Institute of Monterrey, and also we as Universal Energy students are involved in this World Congress, and also is a special participation of the World Conference of Religions in the whole world. Most of the most important religious leaders are present. The organizer asked me to ask you about to stay with us in Monterrey next September. You can put the date and we organize everything. Thank you, Master, and goodbye, Teresa.
Gracias.
Through the presentation of Christina as well as the priest from Mexico, as they have been in Melbourne to learn the level 19 in January. Before I answer the question from Christina, I also congratulate Christina. Now you look much superior than the past. You look much superior comparing to the past in level 19. I don't know why Perhaps you are very happy with in a couple. I see that you are much younger and prettier. In the past you were pretty, now you are prettier. In the past you were young, now you look a lot younger. If I say that, she says. Now, I want to share with you through the question from Christina in Mexico. Now, as you can see on Earth with the threat, the environment, also we have the threat with the environment. We do not know at any time Earth from north, south, east, west on Earth. And eventually there is an energy from outer space far away that come into Earth, from out in the universe that come into Earth. Wherever it hit first, then they will have the damage first. For that reason, my point to place the antenna is not so simple. It is to halt this powerful energy that may cause some problem to us. That powerful energy, whether you die from the heat or unconscious in a coma, or suddenly totally paralyzed, you're not aware of it. So all of that symptoms that would cause some problem to us, that the scientists around the world had warned, and they totally failed. They don't have the ability to stop it. Now, how do you know north, south, east, west on Earth? Where it come from? Nobody knows. If perhaps if it happened at anywhere, with the ability that you learn from the deities, you can contribute to help when this situation happened. That I had warned that after this class you have many environment to contribute. The important part in the world that the scientists in the world had announced, they don't have the ability to stop the threat of this Earth due to the global warming, due to the pollution in the environment, the air, and all of the materials, food, nutrition, agriculture, all of this issue, they are all contaminated all over the world. One is contaminated more or less from one region to another. The food source, one is good, the other is bad. All the people they want to develop in the economy with their business, to improve their business, they create so many environment in processed food to send all over the world. How do you know whether you check or you inspect all of the food? How do you know the change in the environment when they process this food? They may follow the right formula and the technique, but you know the chemicals as they use to process food, as you eat them, you know how long it takes for this to change. Do they mutate? Do you know? As many of them, they had changed, the chemical had changed into toxin that caused damage to the human body. In the many years ago when I was in America, I remember I read a newspaper about 10 years ago. A newspaper in scientific that was published in New York. Only 2 grams of chemicals that they can pour into the river in New York in 72 hours. That toxic can kill at least 7 million people. At least. The scientists cannot stop it if it happens. They cannot. How can they? For that reason, I want to neutralize all of the toxic always in the region where you live or in our body that cause sickness to us. Now, let's say you breathe in the air, you are unconscious in a coma. The hospital, they don't have enough room, they don't have enough medication. Then what can we do? So, I said that when you encounter these people who die suddenly, perhaps for 12 hours, during similar situation with the air contamination, with the energy from outer space that enter Earth and cause problem, when we are unconscious but we do not die. you and me, we have the opportunity to merge in region A, B, or C, so they can come back to normal. That from the past until now, according to the books, they mentioned that they could not prove. That means the change of the soul, change of the body, from a dead body to revive another soul that come into the body. Just like in the case when you have gone through 19 times of the changes of the soul. It is right. Krishna is right. Only God has the ability to change our soul. And with people were talking about God, but God is on earth or not? No. That is the understanding or the message we received from the deities. For that reason, 34 years ago, in the future, the new humans, the human can help the human, and this is the human with the ability that the deities had given. For sure, it is not we are replacing the deities, but we are the instrument the deities had given to us, the mission to carry out, to help the new people with wisdom and enlightenment. But then, after 18 years of my teaching, none of you have the wisdom and enlightenment. Even though you have gone through 19 times the soul of change, and you are not having wisdom and enlightenment. Now, if you do not want wisdom and enlightenment, and if you want to learn EWE, for that reason, in this class with 1,541 of you, you are merging with 1,541 souls from the first to the fourth civilization to help you, your body, to have wisdom and enlightenment. Once you have it, then you serve your country, your people, your communities. It doesn't mean that they merge with you for pleasure, to have the wealth, or for personal interest that you don't want to carry out according to everything that the higher soul that merged with you. Then that soul will return back to the deities. Then you come back to normal, or you don't have anything, or you lose your body because you want to. Then you do it. It doesn't mean that others they want it. But for us, as we all want to have the special ability in order to contribute to help our family, to help our country, to help society, furthermore, we can help the communities around the world, then we will have our wish granted in this class. Not to mention, your soul has the wisdom and enlightenment already. You have the power already. I do not want to say that the soul from the first to the fourth human race, I don't want to say that they are equal to God. But as God had trained them to help you, for that reason, we have the ability, they borrow this body, that we have the ability to send this soul somewhere that I have trained you from the level 3. About 18 years ago already. It's not that just now. Listen carefully. From the time when I opened chakra 100% for you, that is how I trained you to help the wandering souls. Only place your hand on chakra 5 and 7, only for 5 minutes. You are able to send them. You send them to the deities. You send that soul to reincarnate, to evolve, only in level 3. And now you learn to level, and then you learn to level 7. You don't have to pray. You don't have to place your hand anywhere. When you walk by, when there is a soul, they would be liberated. Level 3 and level 7, those are the two levels. Now you reach the level 20. Can you do it? Because you forgot the lesson, that's why I reminded you. Can you do it? It's not for you. This person is capable of the body, if the body is damaged. But then, you send this soul to another person, a sincere person, without the talent or the ability. You merge that person to help that person with the talent to help mankind to evolve. We have the ability to help that soul to evolve. It doesn't mean that you are just trapping that soul. The two is different. These sorcerers, witchcraft doctors, they capture this soul and use this soul to possess others, and they cause a mental problem. For this, the sorcerer can do, but they are still restricted, not infinite. If they have infinite capacity, they can merge to anyone, but they cannot. It's so difficult. But they have the ability. They can merge, meaning they possess using the lower soul meaning they use it to possess these people, ordinary people, not you. None of the sorcerer who can send the Lord soul to possess you. So you listen carefully. You forgot the lesson in this level 20. I remind you from level 3 to level 7 to level 20. So when you see the kind of capacity you have, I have explained to you in level 16 already. 3 as 1, 1 as 3. God, the soul master rank, your soul, merge as 1. Now you have 2, it's much better. And eventually you become 1. 3 down to 2, 2 is 1, 1 becomes 0. Meaning no names. When you have no names, then you have everything, all the infinite energy that in the field of science they mentioned, just like Mr. Tu had proven to you. That is how I share with you through the question from Christina. I just summarize everything for you in summary, so that you prepare. Tonight you can sleep at peace. Tomorrow you come to eat, just like your birthday, the 20th birth. This is a great birthday for you. So in the future, I just joking and also for real. So in the future, you remember that for us, our birthday would be the 28th of July. That will be the birthday for those who have wisdom and enlightenment. For sure, you will be very happy. I don't think about this. Suddenly, when you asked, it came to me. So that's how I share with you through your question to help Christina to resolve this point and to help 1,541 of you to solve completely, so that you can prepare another soul that come to you to help your body with wisdom and enlightenment. And now in your family, I advise for you. You should. You don't have to. Now I do not have to advise for you. You know why I don't have to? Now I let this soul to take care of you. Now if I keep on calculating this burden, so tomorrow they come to you, I'll let them. They take care of you. For those you see that they don't listen to you, they could not talk, and they just when they want to talk. So now I don't have to, because you ask. When you call me and you could not talk, then I know that you have a problem. And I know that this soul has blocked you, so you cannot argue. And then I know, not much. Let's say you want to oppress your husband or your wife, then for sure you see Master Dang. Only Master Dang, you mean you cannot talk, then you know for sure. When you struggle, when you struggle with your voice, and I know, because you said that you have a cold, but I told you you don't have to give an excuse. Can you do this? Because I'm so far away. I'm in Australia. You are from 5 continents. For those of you in Australia, like in Sydney or Melbourne or the neighboring region, you can drive here. Then I know, because you just use hand. I know you cannot talk. When you use hand, I say that I know 30 seconds, and you can go back. But you have to come here. For the Australian, you cannot call me. I cannot help you. If you want, you have to drive here. In Brisbane, on First Grey, or say Albany, is so close. You just come here first, and then we can have a bowl of soup, and then we go home. So I share with you. This is not that they want to control you, but they want this soul want you to have wisdom and enlightenment. So they will help you a lot. When your mind want to have a meaningful way, meaning, in a simple term, meaning, you want to be better than your husband, your wife, or your parents, or if you want to follow according to your own way. If it is right, then they follow. If not, then how can they follow your will? So for that reason, the deities, this soul, with wisdom and enlightenment, will help your body. Suddenly, as you can use your true self, then you can clear your ego. That is power. My point here is power of your personal self inside your family. Outside, we don't have to worry. Outside, in the public, I tell you, those who are powerful, you merge to help those who are powerful. If they bring the benefit to the people. If they bring the benefit for the country, then they will continue to progress. If they do not help the country or the people, and they cause a negative problem, then suddenly they would leave their post. That's how I share with you. That is the purpose, that we only know how to help. Good or bad, you help. If they're good, they continue on to carry out. If they are bad, they will change, or they will stop. Similarly, in your own company, you do not have the right to hate your boss, but you help your boss with the powerful energy. If your boss is doing good to help to do well, then he will continue on to progress. The employee will continue to grow. But if they do not, don't do right, then they will change. So another boss will come to help the employee to work for the company, to develop further. That is a simple example I give you so you can understand and you know. Depending on this situation and circumstance that you carry out, the situation and the circumstance in the past, you have to think about it, listen carefully. But now you cannot think. If you want to do, then you continue. And that is, as they do not stop you, then you know you are doing the right thing. But if you want to do something in the beginning, suddenly you think and you stop it, then you know this is not the right one. So it is so simple. I don't have to control you. That is the soul wisdom enlightenment that help you. Something that you don't want to do, they push you to do, or something that you want to do, and when you come there, suddenly they stop you, that you don't have to do, because if you do it, you would fail, and you cannot do it, so how can you fail? This is a way of application, not an experiment, starting tomorrow. That is how I answer in general for all of you. Also as an answer to the question from Krishna in Mexico who asked. And now, first of all, about the antenna, all of you in the class in Holland, in Thailand, and in Australia, all of you who want to place order for the antenna, I decide to give it. You contact Miss Kim so that she know the address, the condition, and then she can send the antenna to you. But now you place order, it might be a little late because her husband is also a technician and he has a lot of work. The time with the remaining time that he has, then he can make the antenna. So because it takes a lot of time to do it, because recently she make only 5 or 10 of them. It's not enough to meet the demand for this group. So you can place order, and Miss Kim will let you know. As you order first, then she'll send you first according to the order. So she would answer to help you with the order of the big antenna. Lastly, I will also thank the priest in Mexico. As you organize, in the case that as you organize, I request that you can send me the invitation. As you plan from the 25th to the 29th, I will try to make arrangement from now to September. If on earth there's nothing, no threat, no problem, listen carefully. Then I would come to the meeting in Mexico from the 25th to the 29th. If on earth we have the threat anywhere, then it will be slow and we cannot organize. If we have the threat on earth because of global warming, we do not know when. Just like recently, when I organized this class in Macedonia, and the temperature is 50 degrees. That in Hungary, is it Hungary? Romania. When I organized the level 20 in Romania, the temperature reached 50 degrees Celsius. That caused a number of deaths. And after the number of deaths in Romania had requested me and all of you to meditate, I, with all of you, we merged to Romania from 50 degrees and it dropped down to 36 degrees. So that will reduce the casualty from extreme heat to a moderate temperature. That is to help. That is one of the first point. Second point, the 6 person that supposedly they have a death sentence as they went on a humane project. in January 2007, you and me, we meditated. We sent energy to the country that they kept this 6%, that they had the death sentence. And also in this class, the level 20, after the level 19, 6 months ago or 7 months ago. And you also have a good news from Bulgaria, who called me directly in the class, as you mentioned to me. So instead of this 6% with a death sentence, now they are set free after 7 years being kept. And when you reveal to me the following days on the news, I hear that this 6% now they are free, that they were supposed to have a death sentence. That is a good sign for those who are set free, and also a good sign for all of us, the UE students. First of all, those who are in the country of this 6% who are set free, that in the last UE, Master Dang, who represent all of you, as well, many of you, you have the environment that your countrymen was able to return back to your homeland. That is a good sign for you. In this class, we have these two incidents that happened. First, we can reduce the temperature, extreme heat. Secondly, through our prayer in the level 19, then these 6 people, supposedly, they would be executed, but now they are set free to return back to their country. These are the people who are in jail for 7 years ago. So that is a good sign. One more time, I want to remind to this priest, I request that you send me a letter so I can prepare, as I mentioned to you. I will try to make all the arrangement, because on the 13th of August, we will stop from the 9th to the 13th of August. I stop at the end of the seminar, the level 19. I don't have any plan. So there is a program from the 25th to 29th of September. There is a congress about science and spirituality with many of these scientists and religious leaders. I hope there is no problem on earth, then I can come there to attend a meeting with you. So I will share my announcement so that many of you all over the world, those who are capable in the field of spirituality, in the field of science, I can contribute. For sure, it will be beneficial for the whole world. So when I can come there, then I don't know if you have a large place, arena, or some other student in Mexico, or a number of students. If I come, you can accompany me in years from America, especially from Australia. If you want to sign up to sign up with Teresa to accompany me, but anywhere you can go, but I stay back. No, I go. I'm not staying back. Do not here. I stay back, and you feel safe, because I'm so used to it. My students are afraid of me. So I would solve the case for the priest from Mexico, as well as the question from Christina in Mexico. I answer them all. So now fourth question in Holland.
Le saludo.
Maestro, I salute you. I salute as well Dr. Teresa. I will make a question about the no-name souls, about those souls, 1,546 souls that will come. I'm a little nervous. I'm not used to talk. Sorry. I would like to ask, Master, if the whole world let me hear. Wait a second, please. I would like to know what will happen if the vibration on the whole world will be the same, because first there will come these souls with no name, and then after these, many others would like to have again a name, and the power struggle will come again. I have some books, they were written in Mexico. There are some God manifestations. It is called, these books are called, and they talk about all these changes what we are learning in this seminar, Master. And it says in this book that the new civilization, within this new civilization, there will be no evil, nothing will be wrong, everything will be selected and elected by the law of love. And Master, what you are doing, what you are saying, now I understand that we all will be soldiers, soldiers with no name. And I hope that in the whole world will be completely the same. And this is related with Christina's answer, a question. In that moment when this big change come to the earth, also God talks about this, and that everybody, that we must have a lot of faith, that we don't fear this moment. Even if we saw family members falling down, we must not fear, because at the final moment all will be rescued. Everybody will be rescued. So, Master, I would like to hear your advice about this. I also remember Miniep. I haven't seen her in Europe. I know that I am very sad because we're not able to hear her translation. We were used to her translation. We miss her, and we also send our best regards, our love from my wife and me. We send greetings to you, Master. Thank you, Master. Thank you to my husband that he's giving me the opportunity, the Master, Dr. Teresa, so that we can show from the deepest part of our heart our thankfulness, our love, your knowledge, and also to send a big hug to Miniep. We miss her and we send our love, and she is always in our thought as well. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Clearful? Is it clearful?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
In terms of the warm water, if let's say we are in an apartment, we do not have enough room, can we pour in the water, meaning the rice water, into a bathtub so that we can submerge as we are in a bathtub? Because there are some of us in the apartments, we don't have enough room to have the large container. So some of us, can we use the bathtub? The second part is when we are practicing to travel out to space, can we practice to travel out to space as we are lying down in bed to practice, or do we have to sit up to practice? Now let me translate the question for Master in Vietnamese. Dạ thưa Thầy, đây là câu hỏi của người học viên. Người này từ bên Mexico, xin gửi lời kính chào Thầy cô. Như Thầy đề cập đến cái vấn đề linh hồn vô danh, như bây giờ chúng con chuẩn bị để tiếp đón linh hồn của 1.541 người, thì nếu trong toàn thế giới thì cái vấn đề có thể xảy ra là một cái trường hợp là cái độ rung có thể đạt được một cái độ quân bình. Nếu tất cả những cái linh hồn vô danh này đều hội nhập vào dần dần lan tràn ra khắp thế giới thì cái độ rung sẽ được quân bình. Thì bây giờ nếu trong trường hợp mà những cái linh hồn này là những linh hồn vô danh, thưa Thầy, có khả năng và trong nhân loại tới một cái thời gian nào đó người ta lại vẫn muốn biết tên của những cái vị này là ai, thì dần dần vì người ta muốn biết tên những vị này là ai để có một cái quan niệm về tên tuổi để rồi cầu nguyện chẳng hạn, thì như vậy sẽ lặp lại như là hồi trước là cái vấn đề tranh quyền đoạt lợi. Theo một số những cái sách vở ở bên Mexico, người ta cũng đề cập đến trường hợp các đấng thiêng liêng cũng sẽ có mặt ở địa cầu này và có những cái sự thay đổi. Thì theo như vậy, như Thầy dạy, thì trong sách người ta cũng nói sẽ có một cái giống dân mới, và cái giống dân này trong cái thế giới mới đó người ta sẽ không có cái bản ngã và không có làm điều gì sai trái. Và đồng thời tất cả những cái sự chọn lựa trong cái xã hội đó toàn là dựa theo cái định luật của tình thương. Thì bây giờ những cái điều Thầy nói thì bây giờ ông ta mới hiểu được là chúng con là những người chiến sĩ vô danh, và tất cả trong nhân loại nếu mà đạt được cái trường hợp như vậy thì mọi người đều là giống nhau, đồng nhất. Thì điều này cũng tương tự như câu hỏi của Christina hồi nãy. Trong cái sự thay đổi đột ngột sắp sửa đến đây, thì vấn đề ông xin trình với Thầy là khi Đấng Thực Đế làm như vậy thì chúng con vẫn phải làm sao mà giữ vững được cái niềm tin trong cái thể xác mình, và giữ vững được cái niềm tin vào Đấng Thượng Đế, để rồi không còn cái lo sợ. Ngay cả lúc đó nếu thấy gia đình của mình bị ngã xuống, nằm ngất chết chẳng hạn, mà mình cũng không có sợ, vì vẫn có niềm tin là sau cùng tất cả mọi người đều được sự cứu rỗi của Đấng Thượng Đế. Vấn đề thứ hai ông bà là xin trình với Thầy là chúng con cũng rất nhớ chị Minh Hiệp, và không gặp chị Minh Hiệp ở bên Âu Châu. Chúng con cũng rất là buồn và không có được nghe tiếng dịch của chị Minh Hiệp. Và ông bà này cũng xin gửi lời kính chào thầy cô và cảm ơn tất cả những điều của thầy cô. Dạ, xin hết thưa Thầy. Now, through the questions from Mexico, let me explain for you in general. Now, 1,546 of you, you cannot remember all the names. I cannot remember all your names. I know the face, I do not know all the names. More or less, I know the name of 10% of you, perhaps a little more. More than 10%, these are the names. And now, you say in the future, to know the names. Now, if there's 6 billion of the soul, or all of this from the human race, in the beginning they don't have 6 billion, not like this. From my understanding, the first to the fourth human race, at most, perhaps several thousand in the population. At that time, the population is not that much. However, like you can see right now, 1,541 of you, these are the souls from the first to the fourth human race. As they merge, we are able to merge all over the world. We are able to merge to billions of souls. As you are merged to one person, and the merge to just one soul, no, it's not like that. In your body, you have billions of souls, the soul, the nerve in the body. And if you have a chance, as you learn from the level 13 plus, that concept, is it right? Not to mention about all the living creatures, plants, animals on earth, as we are living here. That's just not one. But those with wisdom and enlightenment, there's not much. You think the first human race, the second human race, as well as the last, meaning the fourth human race, the people in Atlantis, in 5 continents. Only the continent of Atlantis was sunk, and the remaining 4 continents are still around. Then, you know, those with wisdom and enlightenment, that they have selfishness, with power struggle, then all of them they return back to the deities to learn the lesson. The other, they don't have the right, because they don't have wisdom and enlightenment to come back to learn. So you can see, I explained to you in general. So, at this time, we don't have names, but we can do everything. And this is something I learned 34 years ago when I started to learn. Those who do not follow the path, and we can follow the path. We are in the material world, but we are following the spiritual path. Then with no names, we can help in anywhere. Let's say right now, you say you have a name. The name in this country, the other country will fight you. You have named these religious leaders, and among the religion, if they have different races, if they don't like this, then they also will fight you. You can say all the religion in the world. Is there any religion that they have unity? No. I don't want to say any particular religion, but in Buddhism, I know. I follow Buddhism more or less. I understand about Buddhism. As you know, only Temple A and Temple B, they would not agree to each other. Just on that alone, just between the 2 temples. And Buddha have only one way. Now they have many ways. The Orthodox and this sect, different sects of Buddhism, and they have this technique, that technique, high and low, but they're all sitting in one place. So you can see, if they're high, they can go high. That's will be better. But they say that they learn high, but they sit on the tree and they're afraid to fall down, and they don't want to sit low. I don't know where they want to sit. So for that reason, at this final stage, the human kind, they want to have wisdom and enlightenment. First of all, we have the name already. Now we don't want the name. Then you don't step on anyone toe. If they say they're good, and then we just say we are bad, or we are dumb. We are dumb. We can help those who are intellectual. If you say that intellectual, then you compete with those who are intellectual. So I tell you the truth. In my country, once we have peace, when in America, when I write on the application in America, I said that I was only in 5th grader in a village. My education background only 5th grade. In my country, once it is unified, I write down only 5th grade. The people said that I'm illiterate. But in the material world, in America, I write the same thing. But on this, I just share with you a joke. When I take the American citizenship, and they said that my profession, I said I'm a teaching. I forgot to write down EV. I just say that I'm a teacher. So they give me 100 questions because they see that my profession is a teacher. So they ask me so much. They ask me whether wrong or right. I keep on answer. The one who translates for me, I don't know whether I answer right or wrong. Everything that I say, keep on say yes. They give me a book. Over here they write and they tell me to read. My God, my English at that time, I don't know much English. I know a little bit more French. So I read according to the French accent. Everything that I keep on say, they say yes. And then suddenly I passed the citizenship test. Everyone come to take the test, they fail, but I passed. When I take the citizenship test, at that time I was organizing the class. I have to drive to the airport to take the student. I only learned for 2 hours, and when I take the test and they asked me a lot, I thought I failed because they asked me so much. And I said when I was a teacher, I said I'm teaching EV, and they said what is EV? My God. They said that they thought that I'm a school teacher, but at least I passed the test. So you can see, my body, it might not be capable, but when they interview me, even though I don't speak English well, but I speak with a good accent. So when I was in a refugee camp, this interpreter said that I speak very fluent English. How come you need a translator? I said I don't need. I really do not need. I know I need a translator. They said that they said that they hear that you talk English so well, but I said I only know a few words. Good morning and yes, no. That's how I can say. I said just like the American, but when they talk much, and I do not know. So I just want to share with you, so you learn. So I just want to share with you. Now, as you know, you are very fortunate that these souls with wisdom and enlightenment that come to help us so we can help all over the world. Even though the first group of people in level 20, about 1,541 of us, perhaps you are able to help to merge all over the world to the humans. So we are not able to control. We don't want to follow our own will. In the past, you want to follow your will. You pray to God, to the deities to help you. The deities cannot help you because you pray to the deities and to ask the deity to follow, to listen to you. That's why you fail. You believe in Buddha, and you ask Buddha to hear you, and if not, you go to another temple. You go to the church and you pray and to ask Christ and to ask for many favors. If you give me, then I follow. If not, I go to another church. My God, now you cannot do that. Now you ask Christ or Buddha, whatever you ask, they will take you. And you don't have to force them to listen to you. Now this being will replace them. You have to follow them. You not master them. The soul that will guide you. So this is the change of new humans and new world. All of these new changes that is appropriate to the new souls. Former, but all here meaning in the past. These are the ones that had been on earth in civilization with wisdom and enlightenment. Now they come to the body that we don't have the wisdom and enlightenment. As they merge to our body, to help our body with wisdom and enlightenment in order to contribute to help mankind, to have wisdom and enlightenment just like all of us. That is the principle of UE at this final stage in the level 20, that we are very fortunate that the deities have chosen our body to give us the mission And whether you can do more or less or don't do anything, that's up to you. But I know, as I told you already, 97 to 99% of you cannot control yourself. They control you. The purpose that they control you to contribute, to help your country, your people, your family, furthermore, to help the country, the communities in the world. For that reason, for the past few days, as well as today, after the end of the seminar, when you go back to your country, your homeland, your family, you do the work 100 and 1,000 times more in many aspects. It is not that only in healing. Perhaps this is many times I keep on reminding you during this time, 5 days of the seminars, and today is the 6th day of the class, the level 20. Now I tell you, so through this question I share with you, disaster, catastrophe, and the threat of the earth. Husband, wife, children are all in a coma. In the past, you are afraid and you worry, you will be frightened. And sometimes you have mental stress, or you may cause problem to you and others. But at that moment, you can see, I tell you, at that moment, you see your spouse, your parents, children, you feel so calm. Because at that time you don't know who they are. They're all the same. Even if your mother was sick and she can sit here, as you go to help others and your mother suddenly feel better, if you try to take care of your mother at home, and instead of giving the tea, and you give her fish shots, and then she drink, and then she would have a choke. I tell you the truth. So when you have chaos in your mind, you do not know. Sometimes you see burning oil, and you thought you pour burning oil into her, and then if she wake up, over here they don't have burning oil. In Vietnam they have this burning oil. And do you still use this oil? And now over here we don't use them. And now it is difficult to store them. We don't have oil at home. That is an example. Sometimes when we completely lose our mind, and then we are not able to help our family members, and we cause problem to them. It's not that we are giving up, but in a family, there's so many people, your loved one, they cause chaos. At that time, you are the one who are so calm in order to help them. It doesn't mean that you live here and then you help there. My point here is, when everything happened in the past, you may lose your mind, you will be so panicked and you cause problem to others. But right now and in the future, if it happened, you will be so calm, calmer than any time, so that you have a brilliant mind to be able to help all of the situation that happen. And this is a situation that happen within your grasp, that you are able to deal with. Listen carefully so you can rest assured. Now, if you want to see Minh Hiệp has been over here. She's been translating over here in Europe. Where's Minh Hiệp? And just stop for translating over here so that they can see you. Some of them over there, they are drooling. They want to see you. Minh Hiệp, just come here. Now come here. So you can greet them. You can go over there. This is Minh Hiệp is not that fat. It is the camera.
Je suis ici en Australie et nous passons un temps merveilleux avec Maître DANC et les amis et tous les élèves ici. Vous me manquez beaucoup, mais je sais qu'on va pouvoir se revoir très bientôt. Donc je vous souhaite une bonne fin de séminaire et nous allons nous revoir très bientôt. Au revoir et bonjour à tout le monde. I don't know what is the time in Europe. Good evening, everybody. I am here in Australia, attending the class with Master DANC and all the other students, and we have a wonderful time here. I miss you very much, but I know that we are going to meet again very soon. So I hope that I wish you a very nice end of the seminar, and we are going to meet again very soon. I miss all of you, and I send to you all my love. Goodbye.
So now, in Thailand, you can ask 3 questions in Thailand. So now in Thailand, you can ask. I would like to greet you as well as all of the EV students in 3 locations. Dear Master, now that I'm here, I would like to ask 2 questions. First, sometime you mentioned that on Earth, that is the smallest planet in the universe. So, I would like to ask you that can you describe the life as well the level of intelligence and time and space in general, so that I can understand about that on other planets. That is the first question. The second question, that I know there is a space station in outer space to research other planets, to bring life to other planets. From your understanding, that program, whether can they succeed or not, or with the ability that you have taught us in the seminars as well as all of the EV students, what can we help to those who are working on these programs? Thank you, Master. So the question from the student in America to ask, in the recent days in Australia, we have the Vietnamese radio, and they have found some documents and other news media that mention about the scientists who are searching for another planet just like us, but 5 size larger than this planet, that has water, trees. At the present time they are searching, but that is the research from the scientists, so that they broadcast on the news media. I only hear about it. So in parallel to that, today, this student who want to know about a research that they are trying to find a planet where they can bring the human life there. Now I present to you, I'm not a scientist, space scientist. I do not research about science on this planet Earth, but when I'm a master, I received the message from the deities. Only this small planet right here, we have the human species that the deities would test to see the level of the humankind on Earth, how much degree we can reach in terms of wisdom and enlightenment. And when the human on Earth, we have wisdom and enlightenment, then we can migrate to other planets. That is about 34 years ago that I learned. As the deities sent me the message like that. And I don't know for any reason that recently a student right here who mentioned to me that the Vietnamese news radio in here that mentioned that they found a planet that has the tree and water, and also Mr. Đức from America who come here and ask about can we help this researcher as they try to find another planet to bring human life there to live. So through the presentation as well as the question from the student, as well as the student in Australia who mentioned that they hear on the news Vietnamese news radio for the past few days, they mentioned about this subject. I explain to you. First, I don't know for any reason and why. In this level 20, I never thought that there is the soul of the wisdom enlightenment that merged to level 20 to 1,541 of you. I did not plan this. I do not know this. When we come to the class, then I know this being they volunteer to contribute to help the fifth human race so that we have wisdom enlightenment, just like those in the past, they had wisdom enlightenment. From the time Earth, we have the human species. So, it would be just like the message I received from deities 34 years ago when God tests the human world with wisdom enlightenment. Then we all will go to another planet. To go to another planet doesn't mean that we have that planet, but we are helping the planet to have the human species, just like this planet. That point is similar. So in the future, who knows? For the past few days, I had mentioned to you the first human race, according to the research of the archaeologists, they lived perhaps 1 to 5,000 years. The first human race, as well as the following human race, the last one, the fourth one that has wisdom enlightenment, they live at least from 300 to 600 years. And the fifth human race, we live at most 120 or 130 years. I know one of the old lady in Sri Lanka, 134 years old. That is the oldest one. And beside that, there are some elderly who can live older. But the one who is 134 years, at that time, it was in 2002, when I had a chance to go to Sri Lanka, I saw that old lady that in the university in Colombo had introduced to me, and I was able to meet that lady and gave her the medal when they came to attend the World Congress in Colombo, Sri Lanka a few years ago. Through the presentation, I do not confirm yes or no, but I only know that message. Now you mentioned about the research. Your research might be appropriate with all of us. If, due to the mission from the deities to help us with wisdom enlightenment, we will have a chance to go to migrate to other planets. So everything would be clear on our path. Our life, perhaps, we can bring the life of wisdom enlightenment, that we don't have selfishness and power struggle. Then we can live our lifespan. We can go beyond time and space. Listen carefully. I don't know about the scientists, their research, whether they're right or wrong, more or less, what are the results. But at the present time, through this presentation, that I was reminded 34 years ago, I received a message from a deity, and that message, as I had mentioned to you, I do not know. When we change the environment, we have the ability to travel here and there. That I have practiced for you in level 16, with your body and your soul, you travel out to space. And in level 20 here, we can go faster. We understand more. We have to go through the change of the soul easier. Then in the future, if the one from the first to the second, the third human race who are here on earth, with wisdom and enlightenment, who can help our body in the fifth human race, then for sure the task of traveling there is not so difficult. Because we are the fifth human race, we had achieved one point that we don't have wisdom, we don't have the power struggle and selfishness. We have the sufficient level of wisdom and enlightenment to travel to other space, a planet, to migrate. I cannot guarantee, but the events from now to the year 2009, as I had mentioned to you, that is, I have an intention that I accept to attend the Congress in Mexico from the 25th to the 29th of September. However, I presented you, if on Earth we don't have any threat, major problem, then I can come there. If on Earth we have a major problem, then I cannot come there, and there will be another environment. That environment I have already prepared for all of you, so you have a chance to contribute 100 and 1,000 times more. After you complete this class, you go back to your country, your homeland. I explained everything already. I show you everything already. So on that, for sure, more or less, you have to carry out. That is my answer to the two questions from Mr. Đức from America. So for this, if you wish to help these people, if you want to help them, the formula I have taught you. Any group, any region where they work, if you know the exact location, each time you merge to this location to help these scientists with their research, as they can discover another planet to bring the humans there to migrate. This is something you can do. You can do it. There's no problem with that. Each day, you only need 30 seconds. You merge your soul to these people who are researchers in finding this planet for the human species. Perhaps the environment, because of the threat on the environment here, our planet Earth, as we deplete all of the natural resource, we lose everything. So it becomes toxic. However, as I mentioned to you, this toxic, that is nuclear radiation as well as other toxic, are in space, are in the universe, that penetrate into this Earth, that cause damage to this planet Earth, damage to the humans. The formula, the deities already gave us a way to neutralize. If, for any reason, just like in the case millions of years ago with the Great Flood, to clear the whole place, we can go elsewhere to migrate, and we can bring in the clean air to reestablish. Not all would die, because those from the first to the fourth human race, they are still here with their descendants as they come to Egypt. In Egypt, they could not succeed. Then they go to Southeast Asia. From Africa, after the Great Flood, all of those people with wisdom and enlightenment, slowly they travel everywhere. And they travel to Asia eventually. That means all of us. So that now today, these people, as they come back to the deities, they volunteer to come down here to help the fifth human race. We are at their descendants, so that we are able to achieve just like them, as they help us, so that we don't fall into the trap of selfishness and power. Then we can complete in helping people. So these two questions I want to share with you. Next question in Holland.
Hello, dear Master and Lady Teresa. I'm thankful to God and Master for being here. Before coming in here, I was concerned whether I am worthy of being here, and now I'm happy for staying here, for being at the seminar. I have two short questions. Dear Master, you teach us uniting, merging with countries, areas, etc. But can we be also merging rivers, merging oceans, seas? At level 19, we were limited. There was a time limitation. So what should be the minimum break in between exercises? And what should be the maximum length of the exercise itself? And also, can we be merging atomic power plants in order to prevent such threats as, for example, things happened in Chernobyl at the atomic plant? Thank you very much, dear Master.
Now let me explain for you. If you want to merge to the river or the ocean, then if you are in the river or the ocean, just like when you are in a boat with the storm then you merge there so that you can calm the storm, so you can come ashore safely. You can do this in the local area. Let's say when you have the problem, normally you cannot. Let's say the nuclear plants anywhere. Let's say in the province, if you know the exact location where the nuclear plant's in, for sure you know that where it is. Then in that town, in that city, then you merge to that town or that city that include the nuclear plants. You cannot merge to the nuclear plants, because sometimes when you merge to nuclear plants, and if you merge too much, unintentional or intentional, if it exploded, it doesn't. It will cause effect. So you have to prevent in the whole region, meaning the town in that nuclear plant. In August 1996, at that time I was teaching either level 5.1 or 5.2. It was 11 years ago. About a similar time like this, I remember it was in August in 1996. At that time I was teaching, and there's a problem with the nuclear plant in Russia. At that time, we all meditated and we sent our energy to help the nuclear plants without causing more problem with the spread of the radioactive cloud. So supposedly they have a lot of problem with the radioactive, but the neighboring region, and that they don't have a lot of problem due to the accident with the nuclear plants. So that is my opinion I share with you about the two cases, merging to the ocean or the river and merging to the nuclear plants. You can merge to the ocean only when you are there in the ocean and you have a storm, you can merge there. Now when you practice with the warm water, you don't sit in the warm water for a long time. With my experience with the warm water, as I share with you, you practice from 10 to 30 minutes maximum, and then you rest. It's not that you sit in there for all the time. When you eliminate all the toxin, then you can go out to eat, and then in the evening you can practice again. I advise you there are two cases. First, in the morning when you wake up, when you have the time you practice. Then on that day you feel very relaxed. And during the time when you practice, after you practice, you sit to practice, and you merge with my soul, you merge to all of the location that you wish to merge to help. In the case of healing, or you merge to all of the cases that you wish to merge. Afterwards, you rest, and then at night, before you go to sleep, you can practice again. Then you feel very relaxed in your mind and healthy. That is my opinion I share with you. There you practice 2 times, and I explain to you, perhaps in the document it mentioned already. And to practice, to travel out to space. If you practice in the water, you can do it 2 times. If you practice out of space, outside the water, if you want to practice outside the water, if you practice inside the water, then you do it a maximum of 2 times in the morning and at night. And if you practice as many times as you wish, every half an hour you practice in the water. Only in the case of just the boiling water, you feel very tired because you have your work. The elderly, why should you sit in the water too much? So for the water, only 2 times in the morning and at night. If you have the means to practice, and I also update for you, in the case of practice, I did not answer. You can sit. You don't lie down. If in Europe when you practice, I have been in Europe already. I see that in France they have like a tub. Instead of sitting, I've sit in a tub already. So in a tub you can sit, and then the husband sit into tub, and then you walk out, and then your spouse can go into in a tub. So perhaps you can use the bathtub to submerge into practice. In the apartment, if you have a tub, you can do that. But it might take a lot of water, and if you have a tub. But for those of you who are very tall, then I don't know how much water that you pour, because the tub is not that high. The tub is not that high. So how can you? It may be a problem. In a bathtub, if it is high enough, you pour the water in. Perhaps they have a large tub, several you can sit in, and the water is high enough. It's maybe all the 2 of you, the water level is up to the chest. That would be better. If you sit in there, perhaps it might be 2/3 of the water level, or in the for spa for the tub. You sit in the tub for the spa, and you sit in there first, if you can. And both of you, the husband and wife, you can sit in there to practice. There's no problem. You can sit there and there's no problem. And if some of the tub for the spas. You can put like a piece of a cloth in there so you can sit. But the condition, if you sit if in the tub, you can sit very relaxed. You can do that. The reason I mentioned to you, because some of the bathtub over here, it is very low. The water level is not enough. You cannot lie there. You have to sit. You cannot lie down. You have to sit in the tub to practice. Listen carefully, so you can practice to be effective. When you practice, if you don't use the water, without the water, then you can sit or lie down. That's no problem. The position. So I explain clearly for you, so you can practice. To practice, to travel out of space, you can practice without the water. You can practice anytime during the day. After you practice, you can just take a little rest, and then you can practice right afterwards. There's no problem with that. Because when you practice like that, in a way, your soul is merging everywhere, and you are able to merge to all the living creatures, all the people. You can do that. There's no problem with that. So you listen carefully. Now I want to share with you, when you practice, you pray to my soul to merge with you 3 times, and then you merge to anywhere. And for treatment, it's different. For treatment, you need to merge with me 1 time for the whole day. You don't need to practice. And if you merge to the antenna, or you merge to here and there, or this statue here and there, then you have to pray to my soul so that you can merge. However, as I mentioned to you, as you take note carefully, when you sit to practice to travel to space, you pray to my soul to merge with you already. Then your soul can merge to the living creature, all the humans. You don't have to. Let's say you are merging to 3%, and you merge here and there the statue, or you merge to the antenna, the big antenna, the small antenna. You don't have to merge. You don't have to because after your soul merge, as your body had to lose all the sensation, then in a way your body has transformed to energy to travel to space. So that's how I explained for you clearly about the practice, so you don't be confused between the treatment and the practice of traveling out to space. When you want to practice out to space, to help to travel out to space is different, and to transfer to energy to help others is different. For example, in the morning, you ask my soul to merge with you, and you treat all the people the whole day. You don't have to ask me to merge with you. But when you go to the building, and you see this location, that location, to merge to this location, then each time when you do that, then you ask me to merge with you first, and you merge to this region. Let's say, for example, you want to merge to the mental hospital. Then, to do that, then you merge to the mental hospital 3 times. If you want to merge to the location with the landmine, then you ask my soul to merge with you, then you merge 3 times to landmine, to the location with the landmine. If you want to merge to the hospital to take care of drug addiction, then you merge in there 3 times. Or the center to help the AIDS patient, you can merge there 3 times. So you listen carefully, because as you are merging to help the sick people, and you are helping the entire building, so that's different. For the list of the people with AIDS, then you merge 3 times. And you don't have to pray for my soul to merge, because in the morning you had already prayed for me to my soul to merge with you already on that part, as I explained to you, so you can practice. However, after the class, I tell Vu to have a full summary note, so whatever is needed, I will review through, and I will send to you by email, or ask all of the centers to help you, to distribute to you the summary notes, so you are able to apply and help yourself and others. So now, later on, there's a number of you will be leaving, especially in Thailand, as you have to go to Ilbon, and a number of you who have to travel here and there. You leave early, there's no problem. Later on, we have only about 3.5 more hours perhaps if you want to say something, I will teach for 2 hours, and then you can present all of everything. Then after that, I would sing a few songs and transparency for you, and I also let you have a few people, a few groups you want to sing. You just sing a little. Over here, there's somebody in Australia. There's 2 students from Brazil who volunteered to do the dance. I don't know what kind of dancing. I do not know. The Brazilian dance. And over there you sing, over here we dance. So over here you see on the video, so you will be able to see later on. That is just to share the joy. So we have only 2 more hours for learning, and the remaining 1 hour and a half. Over here, I only teach. I don't have to say any words. If in Thailand you want to say some words, in Europe you want to say some words, then I sing for you, and then you sing for me, and then there is the dancing, and she would dance, so we all can see. If we still have the time, I'll sing a few more songs. This time I prepare 9 or 10 songs. I have the old and new song. I prepare depending on the time I have, because I have promised, so I have to sing for you. So now we'll take a break, then we can come back later.
Okay. Your attention, please, everybody who has not checked out, please